welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day today. I thought it would be fun today for me to just sit here and let's talk, let's have a conversation, and I would love to just share my testimony and my story with you guys. I am a pretty private person. I don't really open up about a ton of stuff, and that's actually why I wrote a book. I announced that like a few weeks ago, and I'm very excited about it. I'm actually wearing my merch right now that says made for this moment, and you actually can buy it now. I'll include the website link below, and I'm super excited about it because my book doesn't come out until October. But right now I have this really cool merch that just serves as a reminder that you were made for this moment, that you have been called to this moment in time, that you have purpose, that you were made on purpose, and that this world needs you. And so my book is gonna pretty much cover everything from growing up to all through high school to all through college, my Bachelor experience, and after the show. Today is just gonna be a little bit of a small summary of my story and just parts of my life and why I'm here, why I've made certain decisions in my life. So let's get to it. I was raised in a home where both of my parents loved each other and loved the Lord, and I'm super grateful for that. And so I spent all my time at the church or at the basketball gym. I just remember, like, if I wasn't leading basketball camps for my dad and, you know, I wasn't out there with all of his high school players, like I was at the gym or at Christian camps or on mission trips. I saw my parents' devotion to the Lord. I saw their love for each other, and I saw how they treated people and the kind of people that they chose to surround themselves with. I saw that my parents didn't just say they were Christians and believers, but that they actually walked it out. And so it was really cool to see how my sisters and I were raised in such an amazing, loving, godly home. And of course, our family is not perfect. We have many issues, as does everyone, but my parents did do a really good job of just letting the Lord show them how to love us well and to love my sisters and I uniquely. My sisters and I, Mallory and Mary Michael, are all very different. I am very strong-willed, I am stubborn, and I have been stubborn since the beginning. And then Mallory and Mary Michael are a little bit more introverted, a little bit more quiet, a little bit more go with the flow, just the good kids. And so, you know, I had to give my parents a little bit of a hard time, and then they got to step in and kind of redeem that. And my parents have done such a good job of loving us and raising us and leading us very uniquely to how each of us are wired. And it's just been cool to see us grow over the years, grow as a family, grow individually. I started loving Jesus from a very young age. I was the girl at church that everybody would come up and be like, can I get prayer from you? Will you pray over me? Even when I was like 6 years old. And I was like, sure, let's do it. Like, I'll pray for you. Coming into high school, it was really a test of what do I really believe, and is this faith really mine? And I would say in high school was a time where I really lost that personal relationship with Jesus and kind of started attaching my identity to a lot of the wrong things. I really wanted attention from guys. I really wanted to make good grades. I wanted to win a lot of championships. I mean, I was getting a lot of trophies, but there was still like something missing, you know? It was like I was striving, and I still was like, oh, like it's not enough, you know? And it just kind of left you with that feeling of just like, it's never enough, it's never enough. I came into college kind of with that same mindset and really was searching for my identity in a sorority and friendships, in a relationship. Came to this place where I finally just was like, I'm sick of this. Like, I feel so empty, I feel so tired, I feel so dead inside. I'm tired of just striving instead of just trusting and surrendering. And so I came to this place where I was like, okay, Lord, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in my dorm room, and so I had this like moment by myself with the Lord. It was in between classes, and I just like knelt down on my knees and I was like, Lord, I'm tired of striving and I'm tired of performing, and I surrender. Like, I don't want to control anymore. I don't want to be the one in control. I don't want to try and figure it all out. I just want to surrender my life to you and just go all in, and I want an actual relationship with you. I pulled out my Bible, I started reading scriptures, I started distancing myself from a lot of friends who were great people, but they weren't pushing me closer to Jesus, and they weren't affirming the purpose and the calling that was on my life and the kind of life that God had called me to live. And so I started going to this church called Church of the Highlands in my hometown, and just started going every single Sunday. I tried to go as much as I could. Like, if there was a Wednesday service, I was there. If there was a small group I could join, I was there. I was just trying to go all in with it and get as plugged in as I possibly could. I had gone through this season of 3 or 4 months where I was just coming home to my dorm room every single day by myself, like, okay, Lord, like, it's literally just me and you. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm getting plugged into the church, but I don't have any friends. I don't have any community, but I don't want to hang out with these people because I know, like, they're not gonna help me get closer to you, and that's what I ultimately want. And this one summer, after my freshman year of college, I'm like, okay, Lord, I really need community. I cannot do this by myself. And went into the summer, joined this small group, and I remember I pulled up to the house and there were like 70 cars outside of this house. And I could look through the window and everyone was talking, everyone was hitting it off. And I'm a very big extrovert. Like, I do not meet a stranger. I love meeting new people, but for some reason this moment was so intimidating. I did not want to walk into the door. I was like, nope. And I got out of my car, I saw them all talking, got back in my car, started driving away, and I felt like the Lord was like, go back. And I was like, okay, fine. So I go back, I park, and I'm like, this is gonna be so awkward. I don't know a single person here, but whatever. Like, I'm here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get plugged in, I'm gonna meet good people. And so I walk into the small group, and it's a good time. Like, you know, I'm meeting some people, it's a little intimidating. Like, they make us go around and like share some things. I'm like, like a little nervous, you know, my heart's racing like a million miles an hour. And there was a girl, and she was like, I want you to be in my group. And I was like, I like this girl. I was like, she was not afraid. That girl and I just hit it off. Like, I was like, she is genuine. She loves the Lord. She's like searching and looking for community. This is perfect. Her and I got really close and started becoming best friends. It's like, I have a friend now, and now I can like follow Jesus with a friend. This is great. And then as we continued to go to church together, then I started getting plugged in. I started leading small groups. I started leading the college ministry. It was just so cool to see how I came from this place of like not having anybody or anything, and I was like, what do I do, Lord? And then coming to this place is, as I grew more confident in my faith, then I was able to start leading other people because I knew how to lead myself well, and I was able to make the hard decisions, whether that meant I don't need to hang around certain people or I need to step out of my comfort zone and go join small groups and get around good people. I had to make the hard decisions to really deepen and grow my relationship with the Lord and take it to the next level. And really felt like the Lord was like, this is what you were made for. Like, you were made for ministry. You were made to impact this world. You were made for this moment. And so then I joined our church's Bible college, and I started joining that at the same time as I was going to Auburn. And so I was in 2 colleges, which was a crazy experience. I had no free time, and then graduated in 2018 with a degree in communication, and also graduated Highlands College with a certificate in ministry and pastoral leadership. Even in graduating, I still didn't fully know what I wanted to do. All I knew I wanted to do was like make a difference. So I graduated, I was still dating the same guy. We had been dating for 4 years because we started dating the very beginning of freshman year of college. And it was kind of that season where everybody was getting engaged. And I was like, when am I gonna get engaged? When am I gonna get married? And then I start getting in my head, and I start becoming consumed with this idea that I'm ready to be a wife. Why is he not proposing? Why are we not together? I ended up moving to Birmingham, Alabama, which was 2 hours outside of Auburn, which is where my family was, which is where I went to college. And then I started working for a foster care and adoption organization. I knew that that was where God wanted me, but I knew it wasn't what I was called to do forever. The Lord taught me so much in that season. And as I had started that job, I kind of started feeling like I was supposed to end that relationship. It didn't make sense to me because I was like, this dude is incredible. Like, he loves Jesus and he's so cute, and like we have a great relationship. And so why should this relationship end? And I could tell he kind of started feeling the same thing too. You know, he kind of started feeling like we were drifting apart, that this just wasn't working. And so we were kind of going back and forth. And honestly, for a while, I kind of ran away from it because I was like, I've been with this guy for 4 years. I've kind of pictured my whole future in life with him, that I don't even want to imagine life without him. So I kind of for a while was like, no, Lord, sorry, like I'll surrender anything else, but this thing, like this person, this moment, this dream, no, I'm not giving you this. Until I got to a point where I was like, I need to lay this down, but I want us to be on the same page. And it was crazy because I called him over and we ended up talking, and we both agreed, like, this is not it. Like, we need to end this relationship. We're not God's best for each other. It was a really hard moment. There were a lot of tears, but we knew that it was where God was leading us. And so we made that decision. After that, it was like the hardest year of my life. That entire year was very, very difficult for me. I just felt kind of lonely and purposeless, if that's a word. I think during that time, when I was walking through like my lowest low, like heartbreak and lonely and looking for another job, not super content with where I was like, Lord, where are you? And every single one of my friends were getting married. I think I was in like 10 weddings within that 1 year span. And I was having to throw the bachelorette parties and throw the bridesmaids luncheons and do all these things and celebrate all my friends in their highest high while I was at my lowest low. It was a really humbling and hard, difficult season for me. And I pretty much cried myself to sleep like every night. Like, Lord, do you not care about me? Like, do you not see me? Do you not know that like my greatest dream in the entire world is to be a wife and to be a mom? And doesn't that happen so often? It's like we sit here and we get so fixated and focused on this one thing that we want. It's like this miracle that we're asking God for. And we have to learn patience and waiting and how to wait well a lot of times while we see everyone else get that very thing that we're praying for and hoping for. I feel like that happens a lot of times. Not only am I having to sit here surrendering this dream, I'm watching everyone else get to walk out that very dream that I want. But I felt like in that season, the Lord was like, what I'm preparing you for is huge, and I need you to be all in right now. Like, I need you to let me prepare you and get you ready for where I'm leading you and where I'm about to take you. And I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what life was gonna look like. All I knew was that I was pretty miserable in my season. And so I was like, okay, Lord, like, whatever, I have nothing else to lose. During that time, I really felt like I was supposed to start writing. And so I started writing every free moment that I had. I didn't go on any dates during that entire year. I'm locked in. Like, this is a time where God is healing my heart, where God is refining my heart, and where I feel like I'm supposed to start writing. And it was a hard season, not gonna lie, and it felt very long. It felt like it was like 10 years, even though it was only 1 year. And my ex-boyfriend actually ended up starting to talk to and date one of my good friends, and that was also very difficult. But again, I just did not let that get me down, because I was like, no, Lord, like, I know you have the best for him, and I know you have the best for me, and his win is not my loss. I get to stay focused. I get to stay in tune with where you have me and with what you have for me. And I know you're not withholding good from me. And I'm going to continue to trust that and believe that. Every day, I mean, I probably spent like 5 or 6 hours just like in God's word or writing about what God was teaching me or what God was revealing to me. And about 5 or 6 months into doing all of that, I get a call one day from The Bachelor. I remember answering it. I was at the gym, I was on the treadmill, and I get a random call from a California number, and I'm like, hello? They're like, is this Madi? I was like, yeah. And they were like, well, this is, I won't say her name, from ABC's The Bachelor, and we were wondering if you were still interested in being on the show. And I was like, huh? I was so confused. I was like, wait, I think I'm the wrong Madi. Like, I just graduated seminary school. I was dating this pastor. I don't think I'm the girl you're looking for. I've never even seen the show. I don't know anything about the show. Doesn't sound like it's really up my alley, or like I'm the kind of girl that you want. And they were like, no, like, you're Madi Prew, right? You're 23, 24, like, you're single, you're in Birmingham, Alabama. It's like they knew all these things about me. I was like, wait, I'm so confused. And I was like, yeah, like, that's me. And they were like, okay, well, you don't have to make a decision right now. Just take time to think about it. And I was like, okay, like, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of weird. I remembered in that moment that some of my good friends had actually submitted my application to go on The Bachelor. They told me they were gonna do it as a joke. I thought they were joking. They actually did it. And so I called my mom immediately, and thinking she was gonna totally affirm that I should not be going on The Bachelor. And instead, she was like, I think you should pray about it. I don't think you should ever close the door until you've taken time to pray about it. Man, I wasn't expecting that, but okay, Mom. And I could like hear my sister in the background like screaming. She's like, oh my gosh, Madi, The Bachelor, that's so cool. Honestly, I was completely closed off to the idea of going on the show. I didn't even watch it. I didn't know much about it other than knowing it was a dating show. I wasn't thinking that it was gonna be something I was ever gonna do. But as I continued to pray about it and got my family to pray about it, the Lord made it very clear to me that that was where he was leading me. It was still very hard and very confusing as to why that was the route and direction that I felt like God was leading me in. It didn't make sense. I felt like I was called to be a pastor or be a pastor's wife. And so going on a reality TV show, a reality dating show, like, didn't add up. Like, I was like, Lord, I think you picked the wrong person. I think that these people picked the wrong person. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Even though it didn't make sense, I had so much peace about it. Like, I knew it was where God was leading me. And I had so much faith that I didn't know what it was gonna look like. Like, I could have just said yes and then gone on the show and got sent home the very first night. I did not know what was to come. I didn't know what it was gonna look like. But I knew it was where God was leading me. There were still some like nerves, and if I have to share about my faith, or if I have to share about deciding to wait for marriage and saving myself for marriage, what are people gonna say? What are people gonna think? And I just remember I got to this place where I was like, man, one day I'm gonna be face to face with Jesus, and he's going to say either, good job, my good and faithful servant. You walked out your purpose and you were obedient to me, whatever the cost. Or he's gonna look at me and say, there were so many people that could have made it to heaven, but you chose to care more about what people had to say than what I had to say, and you weren't obedient. And I was like, boom. I was like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna choose to be obedient, whatever the cost, whatever comes with this. I'm gonna trust if you're leading me here, you're gonna sustain me through it. You're gonna give me what I need. You're gonna protect me. You're going to give me the strength. You're gonna give me the joy, the confidence, the courage, and everything else that I need. And I just fully trust that and believe that. I got to that place where I had that peace. I had that confidence. I knew it was where God was leading me. So I came on the show not knowing what it was gonna look like, but just knowing it was where I was supposed to be. Had no idea that I was gonna go till the very end and that it was gonna be me and Peter at the end trying to figure our stuff out. And now looking back, I see how God has used it, how God used that time while I was filming, how God has used it since that. There's been so many of you guys who have reached out and just said, I decided to give my heart to Jesus because I saw the way that you love Jesus and I want that. So many of you girls who have reached out saying, I decided to save myself for marriage because I saw you, someone who was bold and courageous in that and didn't care what people thought. Like, I want to make that same decision too for myself. People just sharing how one act of obedience on my end helped and changed their life, which is just a testament not to me and not to who I am and what I have to offer, but a testament to God and how big and cool and amazing He is, that He could, one, use someone like me, and two, use something like The Bachelor to bring glory to His name and to bring people to salvation and to bring people to conviction. Like, that's so cool to me. I feel like I've grown in confidence. I've experienced a whole nother level of trust and dependence on the Lord. I feel like our relationship has grown to like the deepest level, and it hasn't all been peaches and rainbows and butterflies and just all the most amazing things. There's been so many moments where I was like, Lord, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is way too much. You hear all those positive things, but you also have a lot of negativity coming at you and a lot of opinions and a lot of people who think you're crazy, who think you're fake, who think you're stupid, who think you're ignorant, and so many people just attacking and just being negative and hateful for literally no reason at all. Or, well, I guess they had their own reasons, but in my mind I was like, well, that's just, you don't even know me. Honestly, it was easier for me to focus on the negative than on the positive. And I would get in these ruts where I was like, well, this is just how the world sees me. Like, what was the point, Lord? Like, what was the point of me going on this show and doing what you called me to do if everyone just thinks that I'm fake, if no one even sees my real heart? And they're predicating everything off of social media or off of a edited TV show, and nobody can actually see my real heart. And it was so frustrating. I just wanted to like stand up and be like, this is who I am. Like, that's not the things that you're saying, the things that you may see or that you may read on a magazine or hear from a podcast from someone who doesn't like me for whatever reason or doesn't know me at all. And you're just running with that. You're just going with that instead of like actually like looking at my heart, feeling so misunderstood and judged. But I just got to this place where I was like, okay, Lord, again, just that reminder that you've called me to this, and so I know you're going to defend me, you're going to protect me, you're going to give me what I need to keep going and to trust you. And instead of me defending myself and trying to justify and trying to explain, I'm just going to trust that you've got my back, that you've got me. I still have hard moments. There's still mean people out there, unfortunately. I just try my best to tune that out and to focus on why I'm here and to focus on the purpose. I honestly try to tune out the good and the bad, because it's not even about me, and it never was about me. I didn't go on the show for me and to have eyes on me. I went on the show because it was where I felt like the Lord was leading me, and I've seen God's glory, and I've seen God's goodness, and I've seen God's faithfulness shine through that, and that's what it's about. And now getting to do what I feel called to do, which is this, and speaking and writing, my book's coming out, and I'm just so stoked for that. Like, that's what I feel like I was made for, and it's just so cool to see how God has just used a broken and messy and crazy girl like me to just bring glory to His name. And He wants to do the same thing through you. And whatever your story looks like, and my story is not done. My story is still being written, and I still have bad days. I still have low moments, and my life has not been perfect. I have not always made the best decisions. I have not always stood firm under pressure, as we all do, because we're human. And that's why it's so amazing. That's why God's grace and mercy is so good. We aren't expected to be perfect. That's why we serve a perfect God. We're imperfect, and that's why we're dependent, and we trust and we give our hearts to the one who is perfect and the only one who can save us, who can redeem us, who can give us the grace and the love that we need to be who He's called us to be. And that's what I want for you, whatever your story is. I just want you to know I am praying for you. Please comment below like how I can be specifically praying for you, but just know you're not alone. Like, I've had many moments where I've been in those ruts and in that funk where I'm like, God, where are you? Do you even see me? Do you even love me? But that's why God's mercy is new every single morning. And he doesn't expect you to come and show up and be like, God, this is who I am. This is where I'm at. And I have all my crap together. So just bless it. No, like, he meets you where you're at, and he loves you so much that he doesn't want to leave you there. He wants to bring you higher and call you higher and just pour out his love on you, pour out his purpose on you, pour out his grace on you, so that you can live life to the fullest, so that you can be someone that you're proud of, so that you can experience just the incredibleness of all life has to offer you. Even when I was on the show, and even in being off the show, the biggest thing that the girls on the show, that the people around me, whoever it was, have come up to me and said is, how are you so confident? How are you so joyful? How are you so positive? I get to say in that moment, it's not me. It's God's spirit inside of me, and it's who Jesus is to me. Because my confidence is in God, my confidence is in my relationship with Jesus and in his spirit inside of me, I have everything I need, and I know I'm more than enough. And so I want that same thing for you. I want you to experience joy and peace and confidence and faith and life the way that I get to, and that's what I'm so passionate about. I'm just so excited and pumped for my book to come out. It has more of my testimony. I share more about confidence. I share more about how to deal with fear and insecurity, how to deal with comparison, how to stand firm under pressure. Whatever it is, whether you feel weak, whether you feel strong, I'm talking to that person who feels like they don't have what it takes to stand. Wherever you're at, like, God's spirit is the only thing that is going to help you be able to stand firm under pressure and to walk in confidence and to know who you are and to be proud of that person. I want to challenge you. Please just trust me. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks, whatever. Go all in with Jesus and just see what your life feels like. You have nothing to lose, right? Whatever you have to do, whether that's joining a small group, joining a local church, going on different service projects, finding somewhere you can get plugged into. Find good community, guys, and go all in with Jesus. I promise you, your life will be so much better. It'll never be the same, and you will be so grateful that you did. Whew, okay, I'm so glad that we had this talk. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you just feel challenged, empowered, and inspired by this message, and just know that I love you, that I believe in you, and that I think that you were made for this moment. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos, and let me know what you want to see next. Again, comment below how I can be praying for you. Love you guys. You're rolling? Beautiful. Okay, my hair look fine?